Hi travelers, this is going to be your elemental air reading for September 2022. I know these are mid-month, but they will still apply. If you have, let me start over. This is for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, okay? However, if this story that I'm talking about doesn't resonate, I suggest you go back and check the other elementals that correspond to your moon and rising sign. Check all three is what I always say. Your sun, moon, and rising elemental. So I have with me today the Radiant White deck. I have with me the Levita Sibila for clarification. Let me make sure they're turned right side up. And I'll stick with the Golden Nostradamus, which is what I've done for the other readings. We have just come out of our full moon in Pisces. We are under a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra. We are heading into the fall. The fall equinox will be happening soon. And then we'll be going into winter. Isn't that crazy? This year's almost over. So let me go ahead and get started with the reading. This is going to be a mini cross. And we'll just see what the cards have to say. Oh, by the way, the individual readings are posted over on the website. If you don't want to purchase a membership, you can buy the 3-day video pass. You can click on the eye that's going to show up right here. That'll take you right over to the website. But additionally, since this is a general reading, I'm reading for, 3 signs. I'm reading for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. There's millions of you out there. So in order to gain any insight into your own personal situation does require personal reading. And again, you can click the eye to go over to the website to look at all of the reading packages that I offer. Okay, here we go. What is at the heart of the situation? The 7 of Pentacles. What is the foundation energy of this situation? The 6 of Cups. Not bad. What is the energy of the near or distant past? And when I say near or distant, that could mean yesterday. It could mean 6 months ago. The 4 of Swords. What is the unknown factor that will be coming in that may affect this situation? The Justice card. And what is the energy of the near and or distant future? Tomorrow out to 6 months from now? Well, it is the 7 of Cups. So I have 2 sevens. Now, I have 2 cups, a pentacle, and a sword. 1 major arcana card. And so what this tells me is that this is a third dimensional issue, because I only have the one major arcana card. And even though I only have the 1 major arcana card, this card holds more sway than all of these cards put together. These are about our spiritual lessons, okay? Now, I also have 2 sevens. And so looking at just the cards themselves, there's more emotion involved here than there is doing or thinking about anything. So there's a lot of emotion surrounding this situation. What is the energy, excuse me, over the entire reading? It is the 10 of Cups. Wow, okay. Well, the 10 of Cups is one of the most luckiest cards in the deck. And nothing negative can detract away from this. And basically, what this card speaks about is a focus on home and family. It is the home and family card. It talks about everything being great. There's happiness. There's contentment. Everybody has what they want and what they need. The rainbow in the is a depiction of the promise, a promise made and kept. Okay. But I always caution people about that rainbow because it's an illusion, right? Rainbows don't really exist, okay? But nevertheless, underneath that we see the Star card. So hopes, wishes, dreams, and aspirations. Maybe this has something to do with your children or your home, or just that life in general is pretty good. Okay. Now, right in the center of this reading, I have the Seven of Pentacles and sevens, and I have two sevens here. Seven, the number 7 represents a moment of pause and reflection. You have come through the 6, we see it here, which says that there's been a balance and some harmony surrounding the situation. But now something else has come forth. And before we move forward, we might want to take a moment to question ourselves. And the Seven of Pentacles is says that this could be, it's like the waiting for the harvest to come in. It could be that maybe you've been working and working and working and you still haven't seen the rewards that you wanted to. You haven't received the recognition or the promotion or the bonus or the raise, or the money's not coming in. Okay. And it cautions that before moving on to the next thing, that you really should stop and pause to think about, well, can I even fit it in? Do I have room for it before I move on? Okay. Now, 2 sevens can be an indication of, oh God, I can't believe I can't reach this. 2 sevens can be an indication of self-confidence issues causing instability in the relationship. But 2 sevens can also warn of false friends, and I'm going to double check that to make sure. Now, let me just check sure. 2 sevens. Yes, false friends. There's a warning here. Now, this 6 of Cups speaks to nostalgia, kindness, giving, sharing. I've seen this card show up when it relates to issues in childhood. Maybe something has happened or someone has said something that kind of triggered us, made us think back to childhood. I've seen it show up when people are trying to remodel their home and beautify it, even if they're not just painting, but maybe you're changing pillows or curtains or something on the inside. I've seen it show up when maybe there's a trip planned to go either back to your childhood home or maybe like to a class reunion or something of that nature. And all around, it's a pretty decent card. But coming in from the past, we have the 4 of Swords. Swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. Before this was a 4, it was a 3. So to me, this might be an indication that there may have been some kind of argument or disagreement or hurt feelings or hurt words said. Maybe, you know, you felt like somebody maybe stabbed you in the back or something of that nature. And so I call this the ghost card. And what I mean by that is this card recommends that you take a step back away from the noise or whatever it is that's perturbing you, so that you can take a moment to meditate, think, have some peace, refresh your mind, body, and spirit, saying that you still have the mental capacity to surface again if you should need. This is an effigy. It's not even a real person. So this to me is like you were talking to somebody and all of a sudden they ghosted on you. And that can happen during a Mercury retrograde. You've been in negotiations with something and then you don't hear back from people. Or you've been having a conversation and maybe something was misinterpreted and the person ghosted on you. Maybe you ghosted on somebody. Okay, but this says that there's a reflection on health, both mental and physical, and the idea that sometimes we need to take a step back from things before we can formulate new ideas. Now, the Justice card. And basically the Justice card just says that justice has been served, right? It talks about the idea of weighing up things, balancing out. And that's what Libra does. I don't know if you've ever known a Libra person. My mom's a Libra, and she can't make a decision about anything. She's always saying both sides of everything. So this is about weighing up the pros and cons, trying to see how you're going to balance things out, making a choice and a decision. The card says to always use your, it's not judgment, but it still tells you to use your own discernment and judgment in order to come to a fair and balanced, I don't know, solution, we should say. It says that if you've been in the throes of a legal case, this says that you may win. But there's some confusion here. There's something going on that is causing some, I'm going to say, emotional discontent or emotional upset. It is confusion. This figure in the front is in like relief, so this might be somewhat of a nightmare. It can be about fantasies, castles in the sky, you know, not basing your whatever you want on anything real or solid. What I like about the Seven of Cups is that it says, if you can choose by weighing up the right thing, if you can choose the most important thing, right, and focus on that, then everything else should fall into place. To me, sometimes this card shows up like, you know what? I want self-actualization. I want peace. I want wealth. You know, I want property. I want power. You know, but none of that's coming to fruition. Okay? And so sometimes this card can be the idea that you are not focused. You're allowing your emotions to drive whatever it is that you're doing. And you may have too many hopes, wishes, and dreams that aren't going to pan out because you're not necessarily focused on what you need to be focused on. Too many choices. That's what that says. Okay? Now, you got too many choices to choose from. So many I wants, you don't know what you want. All right? So, what I'm going to do is go and see if, and what, you know what I find interesting is that the foundation is that it's, we can say for all intents and purposes that for a moment, everything was okay. There's a balance here. But then we take time out, either some kind of decision or, and this can be the card of karmic justice as well. In other words, if you hurt somebody, then you can expect your comeuppance. But if they've hurt you, they can expect their comeuppance. Okay? It could be a lawsuit or legal issues in general. All right? Something. And so I'm not quite sure what this is. And the reason why I say I find this striking is because after this, if this is a legal decision, even some kind of news or message that comes in, it creates a bunch of confusion. There's a lot of choices going on here. So let's take a look to see what the Six of Swords, I'm sorry, the Six of Cups, if it can tell us anything next to the Justice card. No, it does not. Let's move over to the Seven since I'm already here. No, but sometimes this card can say, expect the unexpected. It indicates a time of solitude and asking questions of oneself, and your actions will revolve around emotional issues. You may find your sense clouded by emotional ties and sentimental feelings. It can sometimes imply that an offer made may be too good to be true. So you are asked not to make hasty decisions, but rather wait until all facts are disclosed, as the truth may be hard to define clearly at this time. It indicates a time of illusion and of difficulties in decision making. It asks that you wake up to yourself and know that all things are possible. It's quite interesting. Let's move to the Seven of Pentacles here to see if the Seven of Pentacles can tell us anything. Nothing. It implies that you have some organizing or planning to do before making your next move. There is room for a great deal of growth at this time, so you must be patient in order for your desires to come to fruition. It says that a sudden change or option may present itself when the Seven of Pentacles appears. There are important decisions to be made, and clear communication is needed in order to come to the right conclusion or decision. Discussions will lead to success. Well, somebody's been ghosting here, and this doesn't tell me anything about what the Justice card is speaking about. So let's move to the Four of Swords. excuse me. Again, it tells of a time to reflect in solitude. It gives the impression of feeling isolated, cut off, and out of touch. It is time to seriously consider new ways and plans for the future. It is asking you to prepare yourself for changing circumstances and tells of a need to take time to contemplate and reflect and to renew both your mental and physical energies. It implies that you may have previously been involved in a complicated situation involving many people. Well, but it doesn't tell me anything next to the Justice card. Let's see if there's any indication here of this Ten of Cups, because there is an influence with Justice. It is not. I would say that this is a family issue, or one that will affect your relationships, okay? But it's a 10, so it also speaks to some kind of change in the situation. Let's take a look at the Justice card here. And if I were going to pick a card, it would be the Justice card, because this to me looks like the catalyst. And that's it. It talks about a fair and just decision being made, justice being served. It asks that you rely upon your intuition and go ahead with your plans. Do not allow anyone to sway you from your path or influence you against your better judgment. It talks about issues of career choice, social work, police force, government departments. If you are in the throes of obtaining justice, especially with legal documents and lawyers and all types of legal actions, the outcomes are successful. But that doesn't explain what this is. And I feel that this is a direct influence on this. So let's just pull some cards on the Justice card to see what happens. This doesn't look to me like maybe a separation or a divorce, but it very well could be someone coming in and saying, you know what, this ain't working anymore. And so that's why I always caution people about that rainbow in that 10 of Cups. Make sure my cards are all right. I don't know how I keep getting them. Okay, here we go. One more time. One more time. I don't know what those cards were that fell out, but if they were meant to be, they will show up again. But I won't know because I didn't look at them. Alright, here we go. Oh, the Il Nemico. Well, an enemy surfaces, an old ex, an old boyfriend. This is someone that you know. And remember, we got the false friends. Okay? Well, it says identifying a false friend is what this is doing. And the Allegrezza al Cuore. That's quite interesting. You know, sometimes this Fadelta card can act like a spirit guardian. You know how dogs can you know, that's your first line of defense. They bark, they can hear stuff and see stuff and sense stuff that you can't. So sometimes this card can act as a spirit guardian. But I mean, these two cards together really speak to a false friend. This looks like it's going to be some kind of event, family event. Maybe someone from your past shows up and causes a problem. Okay. Let me give you the Allegrezza al Cuore. And the Sibilla are quite specific in differentiating between the different types of happiness in one's life. Okay. Here we go. The arrival of good news, fulfillment, recognition, happy times free of worry, celebration, and of support by someone close in a very short period of time. It can indicate marriage, achievement, passionate love, and engagement in a positive family event, i.e. a christening, a graduation party, or a birth. If personal relationships were troubled, it heralds reconciliation. It can represent requited love and or a period of emotional stability with another. It indicates the presence of loyalty and the ability to make a commitment in more than one area, so also in business. It foretells of the answer to a prayer, a fulfilled hope, and a period of happiness ahead. It guarantees success and realization. In business, it represents a good investment, achievement, good contracts, and financial stability. That's what this card says, but that's not what this says. Okay? This is the Il Nemico. And the Il Nemico is like the jack, like the page or the spade, page or knight of swords. It says, if this card can be summarized in one sentence, its primary meaning is that of representing a known enemy. This is someone you already do not like, or you suspect that this person has been plotting against you. This card comes up to confirm your suspicions. It is a man, and this person has an open dislike for you. He is someone whose ambitions, desires, and ego clashes with yours, and he is waiting for you to be at your most vulnerable before striking. Be careful, because he can be someone seemingly very nice, but somehow does not inspire trust and gives you a bad feeling every time you are in their company. The card warns that you should trust your gut feeling about this person or situation and keep him at arm's length. More broadly, it represents someone who cannot mind their own business and who will cause serious nuisance to downright harm to you because they will start prying and meddling. It can also indicate someone who cannot see reason even if truth is presented to them. In love, it will indicate a rival, someone who openly does not want a couple to be together. It can be a mean-spirited lover or a vindictive ex-husband. The person is a true snake. One of these partners may become the sworn enemy to the other, and love will turn to hatred for everyone to see, often including gossip among one's circle of friends. Financially, it indicates snares, tricks, the danger of signing documents we do not fully understand, and businessmen who should not be trusted. Professionally, it is someone who always works against you. His agenda is always personal, and he nurses rancor against you. Now, sometimes he can show up like an investigator or a bailiff, a private investigator or a bailiff, but on a more broader level, the card is a harbinger of unpleasant events such as scandal, gossip, pettiness, threats, blackmail, and something or someone who will become dangerous like a snake. It indicates someone with a forked tongue, a spreader of lies, and malicious gossip. Now, typically you can see after what happens afterwards. So this is either someone trying to come between you and a trusted friend at some kind of event. But again, as I say, this could also be like a spirit guardian that says, you know what, get away, or he's on its way. He's announcing that he's on its way. But this person is going to create a lot of havoc and upset at some event having to do with your family. Okay? That's what that's telling me. A false friend. I don't know whose friend he is, but he's a false friend. Okay? Here is your Golden Nostradamus card. Go ahead and formulate your question. It is the Sun. And remember, it's hard for any negative cards to negate this one, but somebody could just make it unpleasant. You know what I mean? Here comes the Sun. Here comes the Sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. The wise enjoy their just rewards. The fool wants more than he can afford. Success will shine down upon you. You will be given some power and kissed by good fortune, but only as a consequence of your integrity, honesty, and commitment. Now, I don't know what that means to you, in what manner that brings up anything, but the sun is not just a promise of good stuff. It's also the ability to see clearly, to shine a light on something. And so, with that being said, I hope this helps. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste.